December is always a busy month for me, and it also this year turned out to be a pretty busy reading month. So I figured let's talk a little bit about the ups and the downs that was December reading for me. I read A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. If you're looking to get into older prose or especially like Victorian literature, this is a great short starting point. And then the other short book that I read was Jacob T. Marley by R. William Bennett. This is a really interesting, almost prequel to A Christmas Carol, where we get the backstory of Jacob Marley and how he actually helped on the night in question that takes place in A Christmas Carol. Very interesting. We have got Dune Messiah, which is a super dense shorty of a book, a great follow-up to the original, and I think a really fantastic bridge between books 1 and 3. I finally finished up my read-along of The Lord of the Rings by reading The Return of the King. I delayed this until near the end of the month because I so desperately wanted to stay in Middle-earth. The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. I just loved this book, loved every single page of it. Really looking forward to spending more time in this world. The Path of Daggers, Book 8 of the Wheel of Time, and Slog Schmog. This book was a fantastic book filled with politicking and an interesting twist on battles. Now, I listened to Leviathan Wakes, the first book in The Expanse by James S.A. Corey. This was amazing, very sciencey sci-fi, and can't wait to jump into book 2. The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang, an interesting plot and premise, a very unique setting, and a very cool magic system that for me, unfortunately was dragged down by being the author's first book and having a really unlikable main character. I listened to The Staircase in the Woods. This was a book with a really cool premise that was unfortunately just dragged down by really heavy-handed themes, very tropey characters, and unfortunately a story that just fell flat for me. Now, I also listened to The Justice of Kings by Richard Swan. Started out a little bit slow, but ultimately the last third of this book was fantastic. Can't wait to read more by this author and can't wait to get into book number 2. I also jumped back into the world of nonfiction for the first time since the spring by reading The Nazi Mind. Talks about 12 different things that we noticed during the rise of Nazi Germany that we need to be on the lookout for in modern times. Children of Starlight by Eric Swearingen, a really promising debut novel, offers a really interesting kind of promising magic system, and overall a really solid first book by this author. Last but not least, Among the Burning Flowers by Samantha Shannon. You guys know I loved Priory of the Orange Tree. This is a direct prequel and would serve as the perfect entry for someone who is looking to dip their toe into the Roots of Chaos world, or somebody who's a less experienced epic fantasy reader to see if Roots of Chaos may be something that's for them. So how was your December reading month? Have you read any of these books? And if so, what'd you think? Let me know.